Hello students, this video is about PERT, that is Project Evaluation and Review Technique. Let us understand the theoretical aspects and the formulae involved before going to the solution of a problem. Every activity in a project may have variability, so sometimes the activity can finish in very less duration, so we call it optimistic. Sometimes there will be many problems involved and the whole activity can get delayed. So that is what we call as pessimistic time, and most of the times it is going to be between these two extremes, and we call it most likely duration of the project. So in this particular problem, you will be given the optimistic A, most likely M, and pessimistic B durations of activities. Then we need to calculate the expected TE for each and every activity, that is the expected duration of the activity. So the formula for the expected duration of the activity is the optimistic plus 4 times most likely plus pessimistic divided by 6. Also, we need to calculate the variance for every activity, which is given by the pessimistic minus optimistic duration divided by 6, the bracket square. Also, the standard deviation of a path is, for getting that, we need to first add all the variances of all the activities on that path. We cannot add standard deviations of the activities of a path, but we can add the variances of the activities on the path. So we can first add that, and then we take square root of the total variance of the path, and we get the standard deviation of the path, which we can use in further calculations. Now to calculate probability, we need to use normal curve or normal table, which is given here for your reference. This is the normal curve in which we require z value and then the value under the curve, which will give us the probability, right? So if it is z is more than positive, then the probability will be given by this below table. If it is less than the 0, that is negative value of z, you will use the upper table. So let us go back. So the value of z can be calculated by this formula, d minus te upon sigma of path, where d is the due date duration of the path under consideration. So the client may give a due date for the project completion, and that is the d value. The expected duration of the path is te, and then using this formula we can calculate the z value, and then using the z value we will use the table and calculate the probability. Now let us understand these calculations using an example. So we have this particular project which has A to H activities, and the preceding activities are also given, and optimistic, most likely, and pessimistic duration in terms of weeks, I think, is given here. So the questions are, what is the critical path? So first we need to draw the AOA diagram and find out the critical path and find out the expected project completion duration. Then they have given us, if the due date given is 20 days, what is the probability of meeting the deadline? In this case, we will consider the critical path completion only. Then the second question, if the due date is 18 days, what is the probability? The third question or the fourth question, if the due date is 17 days, what is the probability? Right? So the fifth question is reverse. There the probability is given, the required probability is given, and they are asking you what should be the due date which will give us that probability. And the last one, the what is the probability of entire project getting completed in particular due date, on a particular due date. So this is what the PERT questions, sub questions will be. So let us solve this problem. The first job is to draw the AOA diagram, but before we draw the AOA diagram, we need to calculate the TE and variance using the above formulae, that is this formula, a plus 4m plus b upon 6 and b minus a upon 6 the whole square. So that is done here, and we got for all the activities we got TE values and VT, that is the variance values. Now using the TE values we will, and the precedence activity relationships, we have drawn this AOA diagram, and this is how the AOA diagram looks. In case you don't know how to draw the AOA diagram, please refer to my earlier videos of AOA diagrams, and there I have explained everything about drawing of AOA diagrams. So in this, the different paths are A, B, D, E, G, H, C, D, E, G, H, F, G, H. Three paths are from start to end. So, and the length of each path is given here. Simply you need to add the TE values there. So you can find that the FGA is the longest, which is the critical path. So the longest path is FGH, and the critical path is having 17 TE. The variance of the critical path, you add F variance F, G and H, and then take square root, and you will get sigma of critical path as 1.7. Now for the first question, D is 20, TE is 17, sigma is 1.7. That gives us Z 1.8. And then if you go to the table for 1.8, you will get 96%, 0.96. So our first problem gives us 96.4% area under the curve, or 96%. This referred to some old other table, detailed table. So for similar way you can calculate the other Z values and then the probabilities. Now for the fifth question, the probability is given, so refer to the table and find out the Z value, which is coming around 2.8. Again use the formula, and for this particular formula, now you have Z is given, D you need to find out. So Z first multiply sigma, then add TE, and you will get the D value, which is coming 22 days or 22 weeks. Now the sixth question is about probability of entire project completion in 20 days. We have already calculated the completion probability of the FGH, which is the critical path, which came 96.4. Now we need to calculate for the other paths also, because for completing the entire project we have to ensure that all the paths are completed. So for that we will now find out for the path A, B, D, E, G, H, what is the TE, what is the standard deviation, by adding variances of all and taking square root. Then find out the D value and get the probability. For C, D, E, G, H, similarly you can do, and you get the probability. And then for all the three paths to be finished in 20 days, you need to multiply the probabilities, and you will get the multiplication of this and this as 95.83. So this is how you calculate the various, complete the various sub questions under PERT. Thank you very much.